Shalom. We are in Genesis chapter 6. And it says, today we are going to be looking at corruption of flesh, fallen angels, ancient aliens. Yeah. So here we are. When humans began to increase in number on the earth, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they made any of them they choose. Who are the sons of God? Well, they're not humans. So where do you go from there? Job chapter 38 and verse number 7 says, we'll start verse 4 for context. We've read this before on the channel in Genesis 1. Where were you when I laid the earth's foundations? Tell me if you understand. Who marked off its dimensions? Surely you know. Who stretched a measuring line across it? On what were the footing set? Or who laid its cornerstone? While the morning stars sang together, and all the angels shouted for joy. Now, I have a note here. If you have the King James, it says the sons of God. It says, the note says, the sons of God. Back to Genesis 6, the sons of God saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they made any of them they chose. Now, that's all the context we have there. Now, Enoch, book of Enoch, gives us a little bit more context. And it came, Enoch, chapter 6, verse 1. And it came to pass, when the children of men had multiplied, that in those days were born unto them beautiful and comely daughters. And the angels, remember, the angels, the sons of God, the children of heaven, saw and lusted after them, and said to one another, come, let us choose us wives from among the children of men, and beget us children. And Samuel, who was their leader, said unto them, I fear ye will not indeed agree to do this deed, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin. And they all answered him and said, let us swear an oath, and all bind ourselves by mutual infractions, not to abandon this plan, but to do this thing. Skip on over to chapter 7 of Enoch, and all the others together with them took unto themselves wives, each chose for himself one. And they began to go into them and to defile themselves with them, and they taught them charms and enchantments, and the cutting of roots, and made them acquainted with plants. And they became pregnant, and they bore great giants, whose height was 3,000 ells, who consumed all the acquisitions of men. And when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind. And they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish, and to devour one another's flesh, and drank the blood. Then the earth laid accusation against the lawless ones. Yep. Back to Genesis 6. Then the Lord said, My spirit will not contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. Their days shall be 120 years. The Nephilim, the giants that we just read about Enoch, were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God, the fallen angels, went to the daughters of humans and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown, ancient aliens, the gods, the little g gods. Yep. Yep. They were the heroes of old, men of renown. And the Lord saw how great the wickedness of the human race had become on the earth, and that they inclined of all the thoughts of the human heart was only evil all the time. Yep. Matthew 24 Matthew 24 and verse 37. As it was in the days of Noah, so will it be at the coming of the Son of Man. For in the days before the flood, people were eating and drinking, marrying and getting in marriage, up to the day Noah entered the ark, and they knew nothing about what would happen until the flood came and took them all away. That is how it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. Now, will the Nephilim, the men of renown, the heroes, the gods, the gods, ancient aliens, will they return? Well, Jesus said it will be like the days of Noah, so I think this is where that happens. Now I'm about to show you why. With Revelations Revelation 16. Revelation 16 and verse 12 to 16. Revelation 16, 12 to 16, it says, "The sixth angel put out his bow on the great river Euphrates, and its waters was drained up to prepare the way for the kings of the east." The kings of the east. "Then I saw 3 impure spirits that looked like frogs. They came out of the mouth of the beast and out of the mouth of the false prophet. They came out of the mouth of the dragon, out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. They are demonic spirits that perform signs, and they go out to the kings of the whole earth to gather them for battle on the great day of the God Almighty." Impure spirits that look like frogs, and they perform signs and go out to the kings of the whole world to gather them for battle on the great day of God Almighty. "Look, I come like a thief. Blessed is the one who stays awake and remains clothed so as not to go naked and be shamefully exposed." Then they gathered the kings together to the place that in Hebrew is called Armageddon, the Battle of Armageddon. Who are these unclean spirits, demonic spirits that look like frogs? Well, if we go to chapter 15 of the book of Enoch, chapter 15 of the book of Enoch, verse number 8. "And now the giants, the Nephilim, the men of renown, the gods, who are produced from the spirits and flesh, shall be called evil spirits upon the earth. And on the earth that shall be their dwelling. Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies, because they are born from men and from the holy watchers, the sons of God, the fallen angels. Is their beginning and primordial origin. They shall be evil spirits on earth, and evil spirits shall they be called. As for the spirits of heaven, in heaven shall be their dwelling. But as for the spirits of the earth, which were born upon the earth, on the earth shall be their dwelling. And the spirits of the giants afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and work destruction on the earth, and cause trouble, and they take no food, but nevertheless hunger and thirst, and cause offenses, and these spirits shall rise up against the children of men and against the women, because they have proceeded from them. Enoch chapter 15. Revelation says that the evil spirits look like frogs that came from Genesis chapter 6, the Nephilim. Also, I want to point out, I wonder if this is in Mark. I hope it's in Mark. Because if it is in Mark, it's going to be easy to find. Here it is. It is Matthew chapter 8. Matthew chapter 8, verse 29. This is, actually, let's start at 28. Matthew chapter 8, 28. When he arrived at the other side, in the region of the Galilees, two demon-possessed men coming from the tombs met him, and they were so violent that no one could pass that way. What do you want with us, Son of God? They shouted. Have you come here to torture us before the appointed time? Some distance from them, a large herd of pigs was feeding. The demons begged Jesus, if you drive us out, send us into the herd of pigs. Have you come to torture us before the appointed time? What appointed time? Because I don't remember reading that in the Old Testament. It's because it's not in the Old Testament. It's in the book of Enoch. The appointed time is in the book of Enoch. And I think the appointed time is Enoch chapter 1, verse 9. And behold, he cometh with 10,000s of his holy ones to execute judgment upon all, and to destroy all the ungodly, and to convict all flesh of the works of their ungodliness which they had ungodly committed, and all the hard things which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. That's also Jude chapter 1, verses 14 and 15. I'm not going to go read it because you can go read that for yourself. But 16. In the book of Enoch, it says that there is an appointed time for these evil spirits that are trapped on earth to be judged. It says that in the book of Enoch. You can go read this on your own time. But that is what these demons are referring to in the book of Matthew. Back to Genesis. Back to Genesis 6. It says, where was we at? Oh, verse 6. Genesis 6:6. The Lord regretted that he had made human beings on the earth, and his heart was deeply troubled. So the Lord said, I will wipe from the face of the earth the human race which I had created, and with them the animals, the birds, and the creatures that move along the ground. For I regret that I had made them. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. Why? Because of the wickedness that was going on here, where it says that men, here in chapter 7 of Enoch, Enoch 7, it says, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind, and they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish, and to devour one another's flesh, and drank the blood. Then the earth laid accusation against the lawless ones. Yep. For I had regretted that I had made them. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. Noah is the grandson of the Enoch. Enoch's father was Jared. Enoch had Methuselah. Methuselah had Lamech, and Lamech had Noah. So here we go. This is the account of Noah and his family. Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight, and was full of violence, and God saw how corrupt the earth had become. For all the people on the earth had corrupted their ways. So God said to Noah, I am going to put an end to all people, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. I am surely going to destroy both them and the earth, so make an ark of cypress wood, an ark of Superman, make rooms in it and coat it with picks inside and out. This is how you are to build it. The ark is to be 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. Make a roof for it, leading below the roof, and opening 1 cubit high all around. Put a door in the inside of the ark and make lower, middle, and upper decks. I am going to bring floodwaters on the earth to destroy all life under the heavens. Every creature that has breath of life in it, everything on the earth will perish. But I will establish my covenant with you I will establish my covenant with you, and you will enter the ark, you and your sons, and your wife, and your sons' wives, with you. You are to bring into the ark 2 of every living creatures, 2 of all the living creatures alive with you, 2 of every kind of bird, of every kind of animal, and of every kind of creature that moves along the ground will come to you to be kept alive. You are to take every kind of food that is to be eaten and store it away as food for you and for them. Noah did everything just as God commanded him. Now, Noah did everything that God had commanded him. Deuteronomy. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28. It says, if you fully obey the Lord your God and carefully follow all his commands I give you today, the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations on the earth. All these blessings will come on you and accompany you if you obey the Lord your God. And then it goes on to give the blessings. And then it says over here in 28:15, however, if you do not obey the Lord your God and do not carefully follow all his commands and decrees I'm giving you today, all these curses will come on you and overtake you. And then it proceeds to give curses. Obedience brings blessings. Disobedience brings curses. just like it says over here in Genesis, Noah did everything just as God commanded him. Chapter 7. The Lord then said to Noah, "Go into the ark, you and your whole family, because I have found you righteous in this generation. Take with you 7 pairs of every kind of clean animal, a male and its mate, and 1 pair of every kind of unclean animal, a male and its mate." So right here, 7 pairs of every clean animal, and 2 pairs, I think. Read that again. 1 pair. So every clean animal, he had 7 pairs, and of every unclean animal and its mate, he had 1 pair. So what are the clean and unclean animals? Well, Leviticus chapter 11, clean and unclean food or animals. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, "Say to the Israelites, of all the animals that live on land, these are the ones you may eat. You may eat any animal that has a divided hoof and that chews the cud. There are some that only chew the cud or only have a divided hoof. But you must not eat them, the camel, though it chews the cud, does not have a divided hoof. It is unclean for you. The hyrax, though it chews the cud, does not have a divided hoof. It is unclean for you. The rabbit, though it chews the cud, does not have a divided hoof. It is unclean for you. And the pig, though it has a divided hoof, does not chew the cud, it is unclean for you. You must not eat their meat or touch their carcasses. They are unclean for you." Now, it goes on to give all the creatures in the sea, all the birds, and all the unclean and clean animals that you can eat and that you shouldn't eat. So Noah knew what the clean and unclean animals were, because here God tells him to take with you 7 pairs of every kind of clean animal, a male and its mate, and 1 pair of every kind of unclean animal, a male and its mate, and also 7 pairs of every kind of bird, male and female, to keep their various kinds alive throughout the earth. 7 days from now, I will send rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, and I will wipe from the face of the earth every living creature I have made. And Noah did all that the Lord commanded him. Again, and Noah did all that the Lord commanded him. Noah was 600 years old when the flood waters came on the earth. And Noah and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives entered the ark to escape the waters of the flood. Pairs of clean and unclean animals, of the birds, and all creatures that move along the ground, male and female, came to Noah and entered the ark as God had commanded Noah. And after 7 days, the flood waters came on the earth. In the 600 years of Noah's life, on the 17th day of the second month, on that day, all the streams of the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates of the heavens were opened, and rain fell on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. Wow. I'm going to show you something here that you probably never put together. I have to look in this Bible because this is when I got my notes filled in. There is laws for purification. Yeah, Numbers 31 is where we need to go. So I can read that to you. Now I'm going to show you something. And if you never seen it, or never realized it, maybe you will now. Numbers 31:24. Here it is. Actually, it's Numbers 31:23. And anything else that can withstand fire must be put through the fire, then it will be clean. But it must also be purified with the water of cleansing. And whatever cannot withstand fire must be put through that water. On the 7th day, wash your clothes, and you will be clean. Then you may come into the camp. Now, how do we clean stuff for purification? Water and fire. Whatever don't go through the fire has to go through the water. So here, the first time God cleans the earth, He does it with water. The second time He cleans the earth, Revelations, well, actually, let's see. Peter, Peter, the day of the Lord. Right here. This is 2 Peter 3:10. But the day of the Lord will come like a thief. The heavens will disappear with a roar. The elements will be destroyed by fire. And the earth and everything done in it will be laid bare. Everything, since everything will be destroyed in this way, what kind of people ought you be? What kind of people ought you be? If you know that the Lord, that God, Father Yah, is going to destroy everything with fire, what kind of people ought you be? I suggest you be like Noah here and do everything that God has commanded you. That's what I would recommend. You want to be found like Noah, righteous in that generation, in this generation, and in the generations to come. Where did we get to? 7:13. On that very day, Noah and his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, together with his wife and the wives of his 3 sons, entered the ark, and they had with them every wild animal according to its kind, all livestock according to their kind, every creature that moves along the ground according to its kind, and every bird according to its kind, everything with wings, pairs of all creatures that have the breath of life in them came to Noah and entered the ark. The animals going in were male and female, of every living thing, as God had commanded Noah. Then the Lord shut him in. For 40 days the flood kept coming on the earth. And as the waters increased, they lifted the ark high above the earth. The waters rose and increased greatly on the earth, and the ark floated on the surface of the waters. They rose greatly on the earth, and all the high mountains under the entire heavens were covered. The waters rose and covered the mountains to a depth of more than 15 cubits. Every living thing that moved on the land perished. Birds, livestock, wild animals, all the creatures that swam over the earth, and all mankind. Everything on dry land that had the breath of life in its nostrils died. Every living thing on the face of the earth was wiped out. People and animals and the creatures that moved along the ground, and the birds were wiped from the earth. Only Noah was left, and those with him in the ark. The waters flooded the earth for 150 days. And that is the end of 6 and 7. And next week, we will pick up in 8 and go from there. But something I want to point out again. Matthew 24:37. As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. For the days before the flood, people were eating and drinking, marrying and getting in marriage, up to the day Noah entered the ark. And they knew nothing about what would happen until the flood came and took them all away. That is how it will be at the coming of the Son of Man. Again, one more time. Peter, 2 Peter 3 and 10. But the day of the Lord will come like a thief. The heavens will disappear with a roar. The elements will be destroyed by fire, and the earth and everything done in it will be laid bare. Since everything will be destroyed in this way, what kind of people ought you be? What kind of people ought you be? Think about that. What kind of people ought you be? 1 Peter 2:21. To this you were called, because Christ suffered for you, leaving you an example that you should follow in his footsteps. He committed no sin, and no deceit was found in his mouth. When they hurled insults at him, he did not revile. When he suffered, he made no threats inside. Instead, he entrusted himself to him who judges justly. He himself bore our sins in his body on the cross, so that we might die to sin and live for righteousness. So that we might live for righteousness. Luke chapter 1. Luke 1 and verse 6. Both of them were righteous in the sight of God, exerting all the Lord's commandments and decrees blamelessly. Blamelessly walking in the commands of God. For this you were called, that Messiah has suffered for you, that you may follow in his footsteps, because he is our example. Obedience brings blessings. Disobedience brings curses. since you know that the world is going to be destroyed with fire, how ought you behave? Think about that. Shabbat Shalom.